So after reading hundreds of books and listening to hundreds of podcasts, I came across a well full of concepts, ideas and knowledge. Some have been absolutely life-changing and some have just been pretty dead. But the problem with concepts are quite a lot of them are quite dismissible. So you'll be reading the concept, you're reading the idea and you think, yeah man, this bangs, this is absolutely amazing, I'm going to implement this. And then the next day, you just don't. The excitement for the concept just disappears and you don't really apply it to your life. But from the absolute sea of ideas, I've come across two absolute gems that have stood the test of time. And what I love about these two, you can constantly apply them through different areas of your life and it will constantly help you move the needle forward. So the first concept is to operationalize your emotions. So I actually got this idea from Alex Hormozi. I think you've definitely heard of him. He's like the jacked fucking Jeff Bezos and he's like the entrepreneurial gods of this generation. Like, he's fucking insane. And the fact that he's only like 30 odd is like, it's just mind blowing. It's crazy. But basically he was on a podcast called Modern Wisdom, which is Chris Williamson's podcast, and it was episode 607. The title was 27 Controversial Truths About Life. And Alex was explaining this as one of the biggest breakthroughs that he's had throughout his life. But the core idea of the concept is basically mechanically and logically breaking down your emotions that will allow you to get out of them and will allow you to, progress more as a person. If we look at anxiety, so anxiety is a feeling of being overwhelmed essentially. So what does this mean? You have loads of options but few priorities. Okay, so what do we need to do? So what we need to do is write down options of what we have and then have one or two priorities and then we can act on that. And I think this is extremely powerful because it makes you realize that you are actually in control of how you feel and these emotions are solvable. So it helps you move the needle forward and it doesn't allow you to be stuck in your emotion and feel like I can't get out of this. When you realistically can, you just need to logically break it down. It's pretty hard in principle, but if you constantly practice this like anything, you can definitely move the needle forward and become a fucking beast like Hormozi. So concept 2 is letting it go. So one of my biggest problems when I was younger is I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. Like, it was in all areas of my life. It was in football. If I made one little mistake, my head's gone. My head's done. I'm out the game. I'm out the game. I make one mistake and I'm finished. You might as well sub me off because I'd shout, I'd grunt, my head would just go. My performance is just down at that point. In business, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make a lot of money in business, which then led me to making a lot of short-term choices and decisions, which didn't allow me to, move the needle forward long-term, which is pretty bad. There's even things like finishing off my to-do list. Like, I'd have 5 tasks, I'd end up doing 3, and I'd be pissed that I've got these 2. And it crippled me, man. It actually would cripple me. I didn't have the same effect in school. I didn't really care about school, to be honest. But the massive problem I had is I was so tense. I was so frustrated. I put so much pressure on myself and it didn't make me into a diamond. It just didn't. I put the wrong amount of pressure on myself and it just literally crippled me. And what I needed to do is let go and be loose and just be flexible. And like Bruce Lee talks about, be like water, be effortless, be just flow. And I was completely obsessed over the outcomes as opposed to the actual actions of doing the thing. And I actually got this idea from Stillness is the Key. And it talks about, being loose will give you more control than gripping tightly. And I think that just hits so fucking hard, man, because I put a lot of pressure on myself. So for example, if you need an idea, you need to brainstorm, you want to get some ideas flowing, ideas ticking, but you're finding it really, really hard to do so because you're probably thinking about it too hard. Don't you find it mad how you get the best ideas when your mind is completely relaxed and it's just loose and it's just like your subconscious mind just picks up and it's just on it. But when you're tight and you're thinking so hard, it doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. I think the art of letting go is just so powerful. So there's a quote from Stillness is the Key, which I really, really like. If we aim for the trophy in life, be it recognition or wealth or power, we'll miss the target. If we aim intensely for the target, we'll neglect the process and the art required to hit it. What we should be doing is practicing. What we should be doing is pushing away that willful will. The more at peace we are, the more productive we can be. And that is just perfection. Oh, perfection, mate. Absolute perfection. So these two concepts completely changed my life and they constantly move the needle forward, but it all comes down to reading and doing it consistently. So if you're struggling with procrastination towards reading or studying, you should definitely 100%, at 110% watch this video here, and I promise you, you will never procrastinate ever again if you apply the equation to your life. So hopefully I'll see you in there. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.